Hey, how are you? Happy Saturday. Well, when I made that video this morning, it was beautiful here in sunny Florida. And now, well, the sun's going in and out. But that's okay. I wasn't planning on going to the beach or anything. So, and we're still at the part of the year where the heat is bearable so far. How's everybody doing? I hope it's beautiful where you are. Has spring officially sprung? Hey, hubby, how are you? Mike Stevens has entered the building. Mike, is it cold in Jersey? Or is it good? Hey, Cece, how you doing? Oh, I'm glad you made it live. You know what? I was going to go live yesterday, and I was only partially kidding when I said I got a better offer. I did. But I also thought to myself, you know what? You could just as easily do this on Saturday, and maybe somebody who otherwise couldn't be here on Friday can be here Saturday. So there you have it. Oh, it's cold and rainy, Mike. Sorry. I'll send some Florida sunshine your way. What's cold? Like 20s, 30s cold? I thought it was spring everywhere. Oh my God, you guys in Florida, let me tell you. This is the time of the year that Floridians, we love it and hate it for various reasons. Hey, Charlotte, how you doing? And that is this. If you live anywhere near the beach, and I do, there are quite literally 40. Yeah, that's cold. Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't be mad at 40 for a couple days. Mike, 40, that's our heart of winter here in Florida. We're lucky to get that. Charlotte, you're having rain too. So this time of the year, if you live anywhere close to the beach, well, let's just say this. Or if you live, God forbid, on the beach, which, for the other 95% of the year is a fantastic thing. But the traffic, my God, believe me when I tell you, within several miles of the beach, and I'm talking leaving the mainland and making your way towards the bridge that then takes you to the beach. Well, there are neighborhoods that are over that causeway, and then before, a matter of blocks before you're on the actual beach. And then there are people who actually live on the beach. Well, my God, if you even live within a few miles of any route to the beach that one can take, because where I live, there's only a few ways to get there. Well, let's put it this way. During spring break, the locals, you do your damnedest. Well, now that we have delivery with, groceries and all that, it's easier. But hey, Beer Can, how you doing? That's exactly what I'm talking about the time. So if you live, before we had Amazon delivery and whatnot, for a good 4 to 6 weeks, what would normally, Beer Can is exactly right, what would normally take you 15 minutes there and back can take, I believe my mother told me the other day, close to 2 hours. People who live on the beach proper, I'm talking people who are either right there on the sand or they're on what we call the intercoastal side, which is water, but no beach. You do your damnedest to plan everything ahead of time so that you literally do not have to leave your house and go anywhere off the beach or the vicinity of the beach unless it is an absolute dire emergency. So, but you know, the caveat to that is quit your bitching. You're lucky enough to live in the beach, so STFU. Okay, so hey, Liza, how you doing? Well, goodness, we've had a very eventful few days here on YouTube. Wow. I barely know where to start. Good thing I made notes. You guys, honestly, I will never in a million years, like, I'll never understand this. Oh, beer can, exactly. Sarasota, oh God. Anywhere down there, Anna Maria Island, Boca Grande, all that. Although Boca Grande, it's probably not quite as bad, but woo. Okay. Shall we get started? Yes, let's. All right, as always, anybody I talk about here, no hate, no doxing, no harassment, etc. Despite the fact that most of these people would not extend that to us, that doesn't matter. We're not like them. Okay, so y'all, I just want to make a public service announcement. This is apropos of, I'm not going to say it's apropos of nothing, but I'll just say this, if you know, you know. And it has nothing to do with me directly, but it's just, you know, things I've heard out on the streets. Ladies, not just ladies, men too, but you know, I would say women are usually the ones affected by this. Please take it from an old lady who, oh, trust me when I tell you, thanks God every day. For many things, but oh, definitely on that list is, oh, sweet Jesus, thank you so much that we did not have social media back in my, let's just say, wilder years. Hey, Revival, how you doing? Yeah, ooh, I am, ooh, goodness, I am so glad there are no memorialized celluloid, either photos or video of me when, you know, when you're in your wild years and, oh, well, Liza, thank you. It's all relative. You know, when you're in your wilder years and you're perhaps making not the best decisions, you know, and if you're fortunate enough to get to be 53 and then some, well, if you've done anything even remotely close to right, well, your thinking's evolved. Let's just say that your thinking on lots of things has evolved, and you know, usually people tend to get a little more tame. You know that expression, with age comes wisdom. Well, that's, you know, hopefully that's what you can say. I mean, I would like to think I can say that. But oh my goodness, it was, trust me when I tell you, it was a long road filled with potholes and detours. So people, especially ladies. Well, first, before I get to that, just to everyone, please, in any dealings with anyone here on YouTube, I'm not going to say with anyone out in the real world, because I don't know a damn person in the real world that does this. But here on YouTube, please just assume that at all times, if you are speaking to someone on the phone, you are being recorded, okay? Just think of it like jail calls. where at least they tell you, they have the courtesy to tell you, oh, by the way, this is all being recorded. And chances are, if you're in here talking on the phone, well, you're probably already a dumbass. But we're just going to fill you in. And, we want to make sure you know that anything you say can and will be used against you. Hey, kid, how you doing? So y'all know what I'm talking about. So number one, always assume that anyone you speak to on here is recording you. And also don't put anything in writing that you're not okay with coming back to haunt you. But most importantly, just please, it's your life. You do what you want. But if you're wise, and this goes for the whole world, not just YouTube, not just the YouTube world. Do not send people nude and or compromising photos of yourself or videos. Unless you are okay with them at some point being used against you and thrown in your face, because that's just the reality of it. And this is not just a YouTube thing. I get it. This is just what people do nowadays. I never have. Of course, they didn't have all this shit when I was in my, wild dating years, let's just say. So I definitely understand how it happens. I understand why it happens, but take it from an old broad who's, lived a lot of life, and I can just tell, just don't, please, my God. It's, obviously if you're married or something, well, hey, you do you. I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do. What I'm saying is, it rarely turns out well. Okay, it just doesn't. It doesn't. And I just would never, ever, ever, ever tell any woman or any man that. But like many things in life, if a man does it and his nudes get out, well, chances are he's probably not bothered, we'll just say. Unless they're embarrassing for some reason. And I tend to think that if they were, they probably weren't done in the first place. But I don't know. But for a man, I promise you, it's always going to be, they're always going to come out much more unscathed than a woman will. So ladies, just don't do it. It's just not it. Or don't do it. If you insist on doing it, then I would say, God, make sure you know the person very well and for a long period of time. Okay, that's my good deed for the day. Okay. Oh, you guys, before we get to the good stuff, would y'all let me know if, okay, number one, is anyone watching the Gwyneth Paltrow trial? And if so, are any of you interested in listening to me drag that wretched bitch for filth? God, I hate her ass. Oh my God. Listen, if y'all thought you hated Amber Heard, you ain't seen nothing yet. And I'm pretty sure Gwyneth probably, well, Amber probably went to the Gwyneth Paltrow school of how to be a bitch. And let's just say that if you thought Amber Heard needed to work on her resting bitch face, interestingly enough, I have not been following it. Hey, Monroe, how are you? It's nice to see you. I've not been watching it in real time. And truth be told, the other day was the first I've watched any of it at all. It just started last week. So I'm not too far behind. And if you guys are interested in getting my take on it, I think I could suffer through it because, oh, she is so hateable. Oh, my God. Kid, she's the bag woman. Okay, her claim to fame at one time was that she was an actress. I guess she still is. I don't know. She was one of the first celebrities to give her kids an absolutely whacked out, stupid name. Sorry, Apple. I'm sure you're a sweet little kid, but God, what a dumb name. And then we have Moses. I heard a little piece of the trial where she was talking about Moses, who was taking a lesson in I think they were in Park City, Utah, or Deer Park. Is it Parks? I know there's Park City. Anyway, I just made a crack that Gwyneth claim. Okay, so listen, when you're skiing, who knew? Here we go. Oh, Charlotte. You know, I think if she is a good actress, well, she needs to sit in front of a mirror and have a talk with herself, because not only is she being sued for an injury that another skier says she caused, she is countersuing. And let me tell you something. I told my husband, if I'm on that jury, sorry, bitch, you lose. I'm going to show you a few screenshots of Miss Gwyneth. Yes, Miss Gwyneth, the most recently well-known for her website Goop, where they sell absolutely absurdly priced crazy things. Most notably, the one you might be familiar with. And what would that be? Well, that would be a candle that I believe is $250, $300. And Gwyneth claims that candle is smells as heavenly as her nether regions, we'll just say. Very classy, huh? Does Laura sell a candle like that? Just asking for a friend. So yes, Gwyneth is I can't stand her. My God, is she so she's skiing. I think they're on a bunny slope at the time because the kids are getting a lesson or something. Her son, I made a crack that apparently the etiquette when you're skiing is whoever is downslope has the right of way. Now, both of them are claiming that the other injured them. So she's talking about how she's down because she testifies, and she's talking about how she's on the slope and she's watching her little one come down the slope or some such bullshit. And I said, his name is Moses. Moses? Okay, wait for it. So I said, oh, yeah, Moses. Gwyneth, Moses wasn't paying attention to you because he was up there holding the tablets. He had 2 stone tablets, you know, with 10 little words on them, 10 commandments. It's like, oh my God, this bitch is so full of herself. Gwyneth, please don't sue me. I don't have any money. So who just said she needed Johnny Depp's lawyers? Liza. Well, interesting that you say that, because one of Johnny Depp's lawyers, Mr. Ben Chew, the lead attorney, well, Ben appeared on Court TV to talk to Vinnie Politan, Molly Golightly's BFF, about his take on Miss Paltrow's resting bitch face. And basically, I'm paraphrasing a little, but I think he called it, what did he call her face? He had a very funny, cheeky little name for it. Because, you know, it's Court TV, and this is used to be a serious place. Yeah, their interviews, some of their guests have significantly taken a downward turn, but not Mr. Ben Chew. And Ben said something about, she needs to work on this, and how, like, I'm going to show you a couple pictures, and these are somewhat tame. She is sitting at the respondents table, because in the civil world, it's the plaintiff and the respondent. She's the respondent. Well, and she's got a cross. It's either a cross or a counter. I can't remember. I think that those are not interchangeable. I don't believe. I think they're two separate meanings. I think a cross is not the same as a counter. At any rate, they're suing each other. So she is just, Benju said exactly what it is. She is an absolutely unlikable bitch. And I'm sorry. Listen, let me tell you what I saw her do last night. First, I'll show you the pictures. Hold on. Oh, I got a couple problems with Gwyneth. Y'all know I do my own little version of the fashion popo. Well, Gwyneth, sweetie, you're starting off with me. You got a felony, pumpkin, for this. All right, I hated this shit when she wore it. I hate it now. No big girl belongs in this dress. And when I say big, clearly I don't mean weight big, because she's, 84 pounds in this picture, supposedly, looks like. No, it's the fact that the color's all wrong. Silk taffeta, really? Were you going to a state dinner? And the very obvious issue that Gwyneth, this was not the bodice for you, baby. And listen, this is not a knock on flat-chested women at all. But this dress, well, let's just say that, the only way you would know that this isn't a boy, it's shit. The whole thing looks awful. Okay, so she's already in Charlotte, yes. Correct. Is he doing the trial? Okay, so we've got this, and she's already on the shit list for that. All right, but now I'm going to show you a couple shots from her in court. One from the table and one from the stand. Hey, Izzy Pop, how are you doing? Izzy, are you feeling better? I hope you are. Girl, I know that you had some health issues not long ago, and I sent my thoughts and prayers out to you, and I am so glad to see that you are hopefully on the mend. Okay, back to Gwyneth. All right. This one is from the respondents table. Now, you just tell, and this isn't even a really bad one. Okay, first of all, when I saw this, I swear to God, I would not have known this was Gwyneth Paltrow. Did I not see her name going across the crawler? I don't know how old she is. And it's not that she just does not look at all recognizable to me. I swear to you, I was shocked when I saw her. I was like, who the hell's that? Okay, so that's from the respondents table. And now we're going to look at a couple from the stand. Now, you just tell me if this is a woman who you're going to say, nope, you didn't cause that non-celebrities issues. And yes, that man whose probably lifetime income combined doesn't equal what you made in, 2 movies. Oh, yes, everybody's going to be dying to give her money. And listen, people, I get it. I understand I have a legal education. Much like Bullhorn Betty, except mine was from a state college, not a finance company that calls itself a college. I understand how it's supposed to work, but this is the civil realm, okay? And she is an unlikable bitch. And when somebody comes off the way she does, I'm sorry, you're not exactly endeared to her cause. Okay, so we've got this one taken from her testimony on the stand. And oh, here's another good one. Gwenny. She's got this thing I'm going to show you that she does. She has very odd. Okay, and the reason she looks like that is because she sits back and looks at you like, oh, I mean, God, I can't stand her. She's wretched. She is a wretched bitch. Her and her stupid vag candle. I think, do I have one more of her? There was something I was, oh, okay, so those shots I just showed you from the stand while she's testifying. Well, one of the plaintiff's attorneys wants her to come down off the stand, and they want to do a little demo about how she claims this ski accident happened. And of course, her attorney, who not for nothing, but her attorney is a big fat asshole too. Ben Chu, it was either, probably not Ben, it was probably Vinnie Politan, said that, yes, he comes off quite condescending. And oh, he does, trust me. You can tell those two get along famously, Gwyneth and her lawyer. So here she is on the stand. They want to do this demo. Everybody jumps up from her team and, sidebar, Your Honor, objection. Well, because, excuse me, don't you know who the F she is? She gets paid to do this kind of shit, okay? She is not going to come down here for the benefit of you little people and do a demonstration. Hell no. I don't know what the hell they're saying, but that's my guess. So sure enough, after the sidebar, she doesn't have to come off the stand to do the demo. No, instead, we're going to have the prosecutor play Gwyneth Paltrow while giving the prosecutor, oh my God, it's just ridiculous the way they're doing it. So as they're at the sidebar, this is what she does. She's got a metal water bottle. And the whole time she's sitting there like this. And she's got this stank face. And she reaches down and she gets her water. And she takes her chair, and I'm not kidding you. She turns all the way around, drinks her water, and then turns back around again. I'm like, what the fuck? What was that for? Because you're not human, bitch, and you don't need hydration? Like, what? The dumbest thing I have ever seen someone do on the stand. Because that move, well, that just reinforced to everybody in that box that's going to either find her guilty or not guilty, or responsible or not responsible, and judge her counterclaim. So her little move of literally, listen, she just didn't turn to the side like this because I could see that. Hell no. She turned all the way around and put her back to the 12 in the box. And I thought to myself, oh, yep, guilty. It's like, bitch, are you stupid? You literally just showed all those people that they're the little people and they are not worthy to watch you drink your water. And listen, I wouldn't say that if that were a standalone thing. And the rest of the time she was sitting at the table like Holly Hobby. No, she's a nasty bitch, in my opinion. Okay, so there you have it, Gwyneth. So what do we think? Is there anybody who wants me to listen? I will take one for the team, okay? And if you, my adoring public, much like Gwyneth, if y'all want to hear me drag her for filth and all the other people, I'll watch it. There's lots of people covering it, but damn, the real lawyers aren't going to give you the damn comedy version like I am. And it doesn't hurt that I know a little bit about, much like Betty, I know a little bit about the law. So you guys tell me if you, because I'm, God, I'm not going to put myself through it if you guys don't want to hear it. All right. Sorry for everybody who's here, doesn't give a damn about Gwyneth Paltrow, nor even knew she was involved in a lawsuit. Well, you do now. Okay. So everybody, welcome to, there's things about this place that always run through my head, little mantras. And one that I've known and believed, well, since probably when I was just watching, and that is this. Here on YouTube, there are two very opposing thoughts that coexist. And I've always thought this, and I don't see it ever changing. And that is, here on YouTube, nothing is as it seems. While at the same time, here on YouTube, everything is exactly as it seems. It really is a weird. I can definitely understand how people who I can understand how people can get absolutely just sucked into all this, like you get sucked into this vortex. And if you are not firmly rooted in your real life, or you don't have, and this is not a dig at people who don't have a very robust and healthy existence outside of this space. I'm simply saying I absolutely see and understand how this place can mistakenly, but how people can see it as a substitute for real life interactions and friendships. So everything I'm going to talk about are things that I have seen on the clip channels, and I joke all the time and say, oh, they're doing God's work. It's the Lord's work, but it really is. Because I kid you not, to me and for many of us, these what we lovingly call the tragedy pimps, the board of directors of Tragedy Pimps Inc. I know for me, I could never, I could not take, I would not be able to speak on them with any intelligence. Yeah, I know that those two words do not go together. Hey, Tuesday, how you doing? Were it not for the blessed clip channels who do the filthy job that many of us are unwilling and unable to do. And I tell you what, I absolutely promise you, hand to God, on my, what did I use the other day? I used my my Valentino Bible. I do not go to any of their channels and watch not one hot second of anything they do, and I will not. I will not give them that. And you know what? I'm one of those people who usually with that kind of thought process, where it's like, I oftentimes find myself saying, "Oh God, so what?" It's kind of like people who don't vote when they have that thought process. Well, it's one vote. Who cares? I vote, but I find that I have that thought process a lot about, anything that might require me to go out of my way to make my voice heard. It's got to be pretty damn important. But with them, I absolutely firmly believe in and subscribe to the theory of, well, you know what? I may be one damn channel and one voice that refuses to give them the time of day, but by God, I'm not going to do it. And that, hand to God, that is absolutely my position on it. I would not be able to speak on them because I'm not going to contribute to their disgusting behavior. I will not. So everything I'm going to talk about, I watched on the various clip channels, who I'm going to mention several here. And if I know I'm going to leave people out, and I apologize. And it's not because I don't watch or I don't like. I just, what can I tell you? I'm old. Hey, Soper Girl, how you doing? Okay. Our OG of the mothership. Heels in the Air, Chronicles of the Shady, Deets on the Street, Menace to Sobriety. I'm coming back to that one because I have a special comment for that. Earth, Jonesin, Bash the Tragedy Pimps, Tragedy Pimps Exposed, Hugh Janus. You know how I love to say that name. Mouse for You to Envy, and Couch Clips. And anybody I forgot, I am so sorry, and I will get you the next time. Menace to Sobriety, I want to tell you, came up with what is probably the best MGL name I've ever seen. Absolute brilliant. And that is Molly Go Mukbang. I died. I absolutely laughed my ass off. And when dealing with these people, they do so much that makes you want to do the opposite of laugh. That is probably one of the best monikers I have ever seen for her. And absolutely brilliant. Kudos to you. And I don't think it was the title of the video, but one of the bits of text that went by said, MGL's double wide community in ruin. Oh, I'm a big fan of brains and witty, and oh my God, that was great. Molly Go Mukbang. Oh, that was so good. That was absolutely brilliant. Okay, so yes, YouTube's favorite life coach. Can somebody tell me, please? First of all, what the hell is a life coach really now? I mean, I get it. I understand it in the abstract. I personally not something. Ooh, Mean Queen. Ooh, I haven't seen you in here before, and I love that name. Oh, don't worry, I'm getting her. I would not hire a life coach. I mean, we have this thing now called the internet, where you can get any bit of advice you might want, any kind of self-help. And oh yeah, there is that little fact that this particular life coach, well, she's got a few issues. I mean, let's get real. If you hire a life coach who is got an internet resume that includes being arrested for stealing from a stripper, like, what are you going to hire her for? If you want a career as a criminal, a jewel thief, or at least out of a stripper's crown royal bag. I mean, I don't know if there's jewels in there, but oh, and then the best, she's a child of God. Hi. I like that name too. Oh, what is that old expression? They called me everything but a child of God. Oh, goodness gracious. Yes, I don't get it. I really don't. And a child's life I mean, let's face it. If you think your child needs a life coach, isn't that just like a zhuzhed up way to say your kid needs a shrink? I mean, because if you can't handle your child and your child's, helping your child off to a bright future, because I'm probably not putting it very elegantly. All I'm saying is, I think too, if you are of the mind that your child needs a life coach, I mean, something's gone wrong somewhere. That's just me. So, but even if you did think your child needed a life coach, I would hope, my fervent hope would be that you would have enough wherewithal to do a background check on said potential life coach. And oh yeah, I don't know. She wouldn't be my pick. Yep. So we got the continuing fallout for MGL. Can anybody tell me? I didn't watch anything. The only thing I have seen and or listened to today on YouTube are 2 heels in the air videos. One definitely from this morning, and I think the other one maybe from yesterday that I missed. And I listened to last night's live with Deets on the Street. B. Tim was on, Jones and the Glare was on at some point. I listened to about an hour and a half of that while I was, walking the dog, getting my makeup on, blah. Well, I went to hair and makeup and wardrobe. So that's all I've seen. So has anything new happened with Molly Go Mukbang since yesterday? Does she still have a channel as of now? Yeah, Tuesday. I agree. If you're a parent, and I just, your job is to be the life coach as a parent. And if that is not sufficient, then to me, that would call for, a professional. And she ain't a professional, okay? Period, end of story. Tuesday child, her comment says, I feel bad for MGL. I feel she is losing it due to her mom's health. I can't pick on her. And I absolutely agree with that. The last several times I've talked about her, I have said, I'm glad you made that comment, because I neglected to say that when I started. Her mother is absolutely in my thoughts. I hope for the best possible outcome for her, whatever that may be. Her mother no one should not wish that was a double negative. Let me fix that. Everyone should wish nothing but the best for her mother, whether it's her health, her personal life. Her mother has absolutely nothing to do with anything that goes on in this dump. And I absolutely have said before and will say again, I will absolutely give her the benefit of the doubt as far as her very public meltdowns and extra bad behavior. Yes, but that's only going to go so far. Okay. And she's got a reputation for doing some of the things we're going to talk about here. I am not going to talk about any of her like emotional outbursts, tirades, none of that. That's not what this is about. But I'm also not going to give her a complete free pass and a blank check or a blank screen, because she doesn't. I would, if I truly believed that everything that she is doing could be attributed to that. I guess what I'm saying is, if this was completely out of character for her, I would absolutely think long and hard before saying one word about her. So I'm only going to talk about what she's done that has endangered other people, because to me, that is where the line is drawn. I don't give a damn what's going on in your personal life. And that is not to say that I don't also hope that Molly gets whatever she needs, because it is very apparent that she is melting down. And when I think of her, she is quite obviously a very big personality. And that is not synonymous with good. I have no doubt. There's something she said the other day, and I think it's very true. Sometimes truer words were never spoken. And she said something, I think it was to her Patreons, and it said, don't worry about me. I'm very tough. I'm tougher than you know, something like that. I was raised by some very strong. That is to say, there are reasons why she is how she is. Just like there is all the rest of us. Our upbringing or lack thereof definitely makes us to some degree. Our past informs who we are in many ways. But that's not to say that you can't listen. There are people who have lived in a gilded cage, who've had everything anyone could want, who've grown up with every material possession, blah, blah, blah. Maybe both parents in the home, but that doesn't mean they're without issues or they're good people. And the opposite's also true. You can come from an absolutely chaotic, abusive, whether it's physically, emotionally, blah, 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 and become a very decent person and be a very decent, in some cases, not even become, but my experience is you either rise above and become something better than people thought you could have been or you were, or you don't. All of that is just to say, listen, you'd be a fool to not look at her. And I don't mean look at the physical, but that too. You look at her. She's it's not a lot of original parts on her. And that's not a dig at her, because I got a few of my own parts that aren't from the factory. They're aftermarket. Of course, they're, last call Neiman Marcus aftermarket. So it's not that. Rosie Ho Jelly. Hi. Well, I don't know who Diane is. And I'm not bullying her. I've never bullied her. And I don't plan on starting that. I'm commenting on what I see. And I dare say that I'm going to do it in a lot more respectful way than a lot of these people do. The big difference between me and them, this is not a zero-sum game. When I walk out of my office and close the door, I'm done until I come back in my office. I don't care who your family is. I don't care where you live. I don't care what your job is. I don't roll that way. They do, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't mean I do. So, and here's a thought that perhaps, and this is not just directed towards her, but to anyone who's, if you are struggling with something in your personal life, well, in fact, I think I heard PayPal Mal say something quite similar to what I'm going to say. She said this to Brandy Neal. Perhaps YouTube is not the place for her to be right now because of her very emotional situation. Hey, it's not my place to tell anybody who should and should not be on YouTube. That's YouTube's job. But what I will say is, if you do not want people to be commenting on some very obvious, glaring, very hateful, bad behavior, listen, I'm not going to talk about her. This isn't about her clothes. This isn't about petty stuff. This is about her campaign. Would you like a picture of your home and your address? And when she sits at that table with her, I had to laugh when I heard her say something about PayPal Mal. And I'm here to tell you right now, I ain't a fan of PayPal Mal. I think they're both a-holes, to tell you the truth. However, I am absolutely drawing the line in the sand at putting pictures of her home up. Listen, she knows damn good and well that there are some nut jobs running around here. And does anyone think that that's just a subtle? Listen, if you have eyes and ears and a little bit going on up here, we all know exactly what that was and what she's doing. That's her call to action. Yeah, and if you're, we all go through things, absolutely. But I tell you what, there comes a point where if there's anybody in your life who cares about you and sees what you are doing on a very public platform that has legal repercussions for you, forget about losing your damn channel. That could be the least of her problems. And let me tell you, if you don't think this is coming one day, you're a fool. And it very much is. Somebody's going to do something like she did, putting up a picture, giving someone's legal name and their address. And something's going to happen. Some nut job follower who wants attention and who heard the little dog whistle, the call to action, what I'm sure they think is subtle, but it isn't subtle at all. And somebody's going to get hurt in a real way. And guess what? I understand right now, social media and the law, this is kind of like the Wild West. The law hasn't quite caught up with the shenanigans that go on here on this platform and others, but it will. It always does. And unfortunately, it'll be something like that. And eventually, we'll get to a point where the law starts to understand and take notice of people who get other people to do their dirty work. And that's called being culpable. I mean, it's going to happen. I don't know when. And I hope to God that it's not a irreversible thing that happens, but it will. Well, Charlotte, lucky you. She says, our city doesn't mess around with YouTube cyberbullying or harassment. You know what? I promise you, and there's plenty of lawyers on here. I'm sure they've all speculated on it. The law is going to catch up across all 50 states with the Wild West of social media, internet, cyber stalking, bullying, etc. So it's just a matter of time. But so rather than, and I'm saying I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt on certain things. I'm going to refrain from talking about certain things because I have no doubt that she is going through something right now. Despite the fact that she wouldn't give that consideration to anyone, I can assure you of that. But the things that are dangerous and could be putting someone's personal safety at risk, I don't give a damn what's going on in her life. That is wrong. And that needs to be called out. So, and if she can't deal with it, you know, there's always log off. Although I think that's kind of been forced upon her now. Is that the case? Does she, Tuesday, from your lips to the internet god's ears. What is she able to live? Because I've heard several people say that she more than likely cannot live stream for at least a week, something like that. And Kit, you are right. Absolutely not. We are not them. Oh, thank you, Tuesday. That's very sweet. You know, to me, listen, I'm not, her comment says it's good to be the better person. You are that, Lisa, an adult in class. Listen, I can get just as petty as the rest of them. I say things that aren't nice. I have no doubt I've hurt people's feelings. But I'll tell you this, I always feel like the people I talk about, they deserve my scorn. Because they are causing pain to others. Listen, I'm not just talking about somebody because I don't like their hair or I think their clothes are ugly. No, come on. But while I appreciate your comment, I'm not any example. I hope that I'm just representing what all sane, normal people, adults do. And it's like, we all talk shit, but then it's done. It's done. And I'm not going to go there. Okay. So, you know, I keep hearing this phrase thrown around, and I actually Googled it because I've always heard it, and it's very true. And that's just what I do. Like I get curious about things, and then I let my fingers do the walking. And that is this: what is done in darkness will always be revealed in the light. And some people phrase it differently, but we've all heard it, and we've heard all different applications of it, in regards to X, Y, and Z situation. But I thought, where does that come from? Because you hear it all the time. Did you guys know that that's actually from the Bible? And it is Luke chapter 12, verses 2 and 3. But there is nothing covered up that will not be revealed, and hidden that will not be known. Accordingly, whatever you have said in the dark will be heard in the light, and what you have whispered in the inner rooms will be proclaimed upon the housetops. Who knew? I had no idea. I didn't know that was from the Bible. Hey, Krabby, how you doing? And I think that was about Cain and Abel, or Abel. Listen, I don't pretend to know the Bible. I don't. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting, because I had no idea that it was from the Bible, but it's so true. It is so true. So don't lose faith, because even in this disgusting, grimy place, I believe it's true. Another version of that that's definitely not from the Bible, well, that would be, it all comes out in the wash. And it does, and it will. It may take time, but I think that's going to be the case for a lot of people. I hope so. Oh, and here's another one. Oh, and this one is so true. Oh my God. I said this, I think, in the second video I ever made, first time around when I was Crimes in Fashion. And then I Googled this one, because you hear this all the time too. But this, oh my God. There are so many old parables, adages, call them whatever you want. There's so many that are so applicable to this place. This one I've always said and known. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. So I Googled that one, because I was like, damn, I want to know what that is too. Now that's attributed to different people at different times, but I think it's pronounced Shenju, who was No, I didn't. I thought I clipped it. I thought I had a screenshot of it. Who was it? Sunju, Chinese war strategist, and that is often attributed to him. I think he worded it differently, but that's the more evolved definition, I think. That I'm not positive. Oh, Liza, yeah. I've always heard that this has been a long time coming. So what's the deal with her? Is she unable to stream now? I know she's got 2 strikes, but does that mean that she cannot stream for a period of time? Oh, well, Krabby, that's a way of life out here. Because you know what? I know for certain, none of these people have friends. They're not friends, and they don't have friends. They're a bunch of gross, grimy people with no scruples who collab together at various points in their YouTube careers because it's mutually beneficial. That's all it is. Because these people, you can't have friends if you don't know how to be a friend. And, you tell me, if you see anything in Bullhorn Betty, JLR, Molly Go Lightly, PayPal Mal, and all the rest of them. I mean, you tell me, do you see anything? Okay, so for 2 weeks, she can't stream. Ooh, don't you know that's killing her? And you know what? All joking aside, they say everything happens for a reason. We know she's the cause of her own consequence, we'll just say, in this department. However, that being said, everything happens for a reason. And if she were wise, she would take this 2 weeks. And, hey, listen, if she's the big baller that she wants everybody to think she is, well, she does rent rooms in her house. She's got tenants. So, and her husband's a big, important finance guy. So, if all that's true, well, then it's not like she has to worry about the money from this. So she would be very wise to take 2 weeks. Oh, Laura. I don't know a lot about Laura. I know I can't stand her accent. It makes me crazy. But, that's not her fault. And I don't listen to her because I can't stand the sound of her voice. But I know a little bit about her that I've heard here and there. Yeah, that's a little further down. But oh, I don't know anything about life coaching. Oh, God, give me a break. Would you pick her to be your damn life coach? Does she put that on her CV? Let's see. She had the stripper thing. Doesn't she have another? Oh, yeah. She appeared on that show where she said she was like an undercover hooker. Yeah, no, she wouldn't be my choice, but that's just me. But yeah, honestly, she should truly take this time, put the YouTube down. And, that doesn't mean going over to Laura's and getting on her chin. And what's the deal with those two? They're like on and off. They love each other. They hate each other. Is that kind of deal? But yeah, if I were her, I would take the time and attend to her. You don't get time back. And, unfortunately, her mother is very ill. And if I were her, there is not a damn thing on this platform or any other one that would be worth losing time with my real family. So it's a blessing in disguise. Oh, Charlotte, I think you're right. I think once you get on their radar, they're crabby. I believe that too. I don't think she has any idea. I think her online life, I don't think there is it appears that everything is all enmeshed in online. Like she overshares. I agree. I think there's a lot of people who have lost all perspective. So yeah, I've said many times, I'm a big old fan of irony. I love it. I love it in literature. I love it in movies, and I really love it in real life. And oh, isn't it ironic that one of her fellow tragedy pimps, that she, they were in love with each other a few weeks ago, but her venomous hate, and I'm sorry, there is no other word to describe this campaign that she has been on as, I guess, punishment for PayPal Mal saying, peace out. I am not defending Mal. I am gonna say this though, because I think I owe her this. And it's the one and only thing that I've said to her that I'm gonna apologize for, and I'm gonna walk it back, and I'm gonna say that I was wrong. Because I can't very well comment on Molly doing it if I've done it. And that is, at the height, listen, y'all, I don't claim to be I am not perfect. There are times when my mouth gets ahead of it wasn't ahead of my brain. I didn't care. I was pissed. And when she went to St. Jude, when Mal went to St. Jude's, and she then tried to say that she was trans bashed and blah, blah, blah. I said, I'm not going to repeat it, but I said something she knows what I said. I spoke about her, how she identifies. I'm being very careful here because I know that, listen, if I thought I could just come out and say it, I would. But I know that there's a lot of, they're watching a lot of things at the moment. So, and I mean YouTube around certain words, not the TPs. But I said something about how she identifies, and I was wrong for that, and I shouldn't have done it. And not because I was really angry, and that was because that brought up that is a very sensitive subject with me, and for numerous reasons. And I think that what I told her at the time was, hi, hippie, how are you? I told her at the time that I asked her if she'd ever been to a funeral for a 5-year-old that died from brain cancer. That does not excuse the fact that I did it, but I did. And I was wrong, and I am sorry. Listen, I've never claimed to be perfect. I am not. But I have also said that when I am wrong, I will acknowledge it and apologize for it. So, it's not about being perfect. But there seems to be a lot of people on here who just have lost their dignity, their humanity. I mean, and they've done it to themselves. It's not, but yeah, the irony is not lost on me that what could very well, I mean, look at all those videos she deleted. And well, Mike, I hear you. I just didn't need to I didn't need to say it. Oh, Charlotte, that's very sweet. I appreciate that. Oh, and Tuesday, I agree with all that too. Listen, I'm not defending Mal at all. I know this much about her, and I don't have to know her to know this. She is an absolute shameless self-promoter, and I think she will do almost anything. She absolutely craves the attention. It's her income source, as far as I know. And she has said and done a lot of disgusting things. Listen, I'm sorry. I'm not a comedian, but you know, there's people who think I'm funny. But there are places that you don't go, and there are things that are never funny. And missing and or deceased children are one of them. That is classless. It's disgusting. And it says way more about her than anything she could try and verbalize. Listen, I said the other day, there's a reason. She's very calculated. Well, thank you, hippie. She's very calculated. I think of all of them, she's definitely got the most marble count. She was very strategic in going on Queen Bee's panel. I mean, gee, why do we think she went on that one? Well, gee, I don't know, because she knows that one, I mean, honestly, I have only even listened to her channel in about the last maybe 4 or 6 weeks. I had always heard her name, but her channel never came into my feed until not that long ago. And I can tell you this, of all the channels that I listen to, and I listen to all the big ones, she consistently has. You know, the other day I said I don't think I'd ever seen less than 350 in that chat, but I think honestly, I think she consistently has anywhere between 500 and 800 or 900 a day. In the middle of the damn day, people. I mean, that is no small feat. And hey, Ginger Snap, how you doing? There's a reason that she picked that panel to go on. And listen, do you really think that she went up there to try and explain? She didn't give a shit about, she's not about explaining about anything. She's about promoting herself. And she saw the opportunity, and she knows, she's been around a long time, and she knows that a lot of people, MGL is on the shit list. So, oh, Kit, you are? I love AV. Charlotte, there you go. Exactly. Over 800. I can tell you, listen, when I was around here the last time as the first Crimes in Fashion, I absolutely remember listening to her because I had a sub who sent me to her. And boy, she gave all her subs the marching orders. You people need to get my name out there. If you want me to be around and you want me to deliver this content, and it's the subs, you need to carry my name out there. Put my name out there. I've said 100 times, she absolutely would tell anybody who listened that she's been in this place for 10 years, whatever the hell it was, and that, you know, she's funnier, she's better, and, you know, she didn't get the recognition she deserved. Do you not think that that's the reason she hooked up with Molly, who she called Sloppy Molly forever? Listen, it takes a special kind of person to talk mad smack like that about somebody, and then to get in your car and listen, that would be like me and Betty going and having dinner. There ain't a snowball's chance in hell. And what would absolutely never, hey Kathy, how you doing? What Another thing that would, well, let's just say this. Do you think that if I was gonna, all the shit I've talked about Betty, well deserved. Okay, so I decide, oh, I'm going to team up with Betty because I don't feel appreciated and I'm out here grinding every day. I don't get my due. If I hook up with this bitch, well, it's going to, you know what I'm saying. I can promise you this. If by chance it did snow in hell one day and I was out building my snowman, my Bullhorn Betty snowman with, we'd have to find some dried up sticks to use for hair. Well, I can promise you this. There's going to be a little bit of meet and greet before I just jump in my car and go meet her in person. I wouldn't even be able to talk to her on the phone because I would be like, oh my God, do you remember when he said, pss, 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 pss? Can you imagine? It takes a special kind of person to have talked all that shit and done all that. And I'm sure that they probably did talk beforehand. But that does not negate the fact that after all the shit she said, I mean, just from a safety standpoint, I can't imagine getting in my car and now I'm going to go break bread with the woman that I've drugged for filth for. And why? Because I know that she brings the views and I want the views. And I might get her people to come over and give me money. It takes a special kind of person to be able to do that, okay? And that ain't me. So she's very strategic. Everything she does, make no mistake, everything she does is about her. And I get it. Everybody who's a creator on here, we're all looking out for number one. But guess what? That doesn't mean that I can't make a friend or what I think is a friend in you and go on your channel and you come on my channel and maybe we do something together. But that doesn't mean that, you don't mean we're not friends. I don't tick that way. She does. Believe that. And I said the other day, and I'll say it again, I think it's very good that she took down that video that Brandy Neal found so objectionable. But make no mistake, she did not do that because it was the right thing to do, because she knew that Brandy Neal was losing sleep over it. Bullshit. Do you not think? Let's think about this. She makes the decision to go on Queen Bee's panel and take the fire, and she did. But she had some support there too. So she makes that decision to go on there. Do we not think that when she left, well, I'm pretty damn sure she was back the next day, wasn't she? Yes, she was. Because she's not stupid. And she's all about number one. And I'm sure that she got off that live and said, well, damn. I may have gotten my ass reamed, but, they did lube up. Metaphorically speaking. And I'm quite sure that night she was, I dream of sugar plum fairies and glittery Christian Louboutins. She dreams, I'm sure, of sub count and super chats. So as visions of sugar plum super chats were dancing through her head that night, going, ooh, look at that. Well, I may have had to take a little bit of shit, but my God, Look how many people are in there. And some of those people like me. And some of those people I swayed. You know why? Because I was smart enough to make one concession. And I'd be willing to bet the concession that she made to Brandy Neal, it's a great thing, and all that matters is that it gives Brandy some peace. And I don't know Brandy. I've never spoken to her. That's all. Ultimately, on this one, the means justify the end. But I'd be willing to bet that was the concession she made, because that is probably the one that has been far enough away now, makes her the least amount of money. You notice she wouldn't back down on anything else. So there you go. Exactly, Kathy. Exactly. That's my whole point. My whole point. So, and that is, Mallory is getting out of this, tripled her views. And after 9 years, she's reached 17,000 over. I don't agree that it's all over. Well, yeah, over, I'm sorry. The rest of the comments said reach 17,000 over hate for Molly. Hey Barbie, how you doing? I'm sure that is quite a bit of it, but I think it's also probably given her some exposure through Queen Bees of people that would not have otherwise maybe given her the time of day. So there you have that. But I just love the irony that of these two that were going to get together and form this unholy union. Well, not just two of them, but because let's face it, both of those bitches. The idea was, well, I'm going to use this one for this and this one's using me for that. I mean, these people do not have friends. They don't make friends. They're not friends to anyone else. It's all, listen, all these people are like succubus. What can you do for me? And if you can do something for me and you get a little bit of something in the deal, so be it. Mike Stevens, don't get me in trouble. And what Molly has done to Mal, and I've already said that, and I'm going to say it again, just for the kids in the back who might not have heard after I fixed my, I'm not a fan of PayPal Mal, okay? I'm not going to defend her on anything she's done. I find her gross. But that does not mean that I support what Molly has done to her. It's dangerous. It's uncalled for. And Molly deserves everything she's going to get from that. And I don't give a damn what that consequence is. And I'm sorry about her mother. But that does not, listen, that can account for some of the just mean things she has said, possibly, but putting her, and when that bitch sat at her little, Ashley furniture table. Do you rent furniture too? And was talking to whoever she was talking to. And she sat there and she said one of the dumbest things I have ever heard somebody say. So she's acting like she's got, Mallory's criminal record that doesn't exist, by the way, in front of her. And okay, even if she did, yeah, she's been verified detective. We got it. Oh, and my goodness, isn't her husband in the financial industry? Well, I don't know, but you might want to like reconsider telling all of YouTube about how your husband, who is he not does he not fall under the purview of the SEC? Because I'm pretty sure that the SEC does not condone people who are within their purview of, oh, I don't know, looking people up. She throws that shit around all the time. Like, oh, her big bad husband. Bitch, you don't scare me. And neither does your husband. But as she's sitting there with what she wants you to believe is Mallory's very extensive criminal record, she said one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Oh, and the DNA matches. The DNA matches. What'd you do? Go through her garbage and get a coffee cup and send it out for analysis? The DNA matches. God, you are an idiot. That is one of the dumber things I've ever heard somebody say on here. Oh, Liza, that's entirely possible. Who knows? Nothing would surprise me. Oh, God. Oh, this is one of my favorite lipsticks in the whole world. You know what's funny? I had this on in the video, and it is so weird how the iPad, doesn't matter what lighting I use, everything looks a different color than it really is. So when I do a live, everything is like looks the way it actually looks as far as the colors go. This is MAC Candy Yum Yum. One of my favorites. Diane, how you doing? Oh God, Kathy, right? Can you imagine, like, never mind. All right, so Heels in the Air has a Twitter, and she was so offended by what Molly has done by not only doxing Mal, but by all the trans bashing going on, that she took to her Twitter, because people know that apparently that is a way to get YouTube to sit up and take notice when you have an issue that you would like to make them aware of. So she encouraged, and I will as well, anyone who does not agree with this kind of behavior and what Molly has done as far as the doxing, the trans bashing. I'm more concerned with the doxing, because that is dangerous. Well, the other could be dangerous too, but if you go to her Twitter, she is asking that you retweet her tweet. And so far, I think it's had, at last check, I think it had like at least 250 retweets. So if you feel strongly enough about it, that is something that you can do. I don't have Twitter. Otherwise, I would have done it. And I'm not making a Twitter just to do that. Oh. Hey, listen up. All you doxing mofos out there. You know what occurred to me this morning? All you doxers, think before you dox. This is how you need to, this is how you can remember it. Why it's not a good idea. Because from where I'm sitting, if you're going to dox somebody, look at it like this. It's kind of like a cheating spouse. You know what they say about that? If they're willing to do it with you, they will definitely do it to you. And that's how I feel about the doxing. If you're willing to be that grimy, nasty skank, and you're all in your feels because somebody's gotten the better of you, whether it's, with their mouth, they've made a video you don't like, whatever the case may be, it says way more about you than it says the person that you're doxing. I can tell you that. And I promise you, that is absolutely, if they'll do it with you, they'll do it to you. So if that's the way you think you need to go, well, hey, don't you say one word when it rolls around to you, as it most certainly will. You know something else that occurred to me on all these clips? But there was Molly on, I think it was Laura. God, I hate her voice. And I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that because she can't help that. But that, oh God, just gets on my nerves. And it's not just her, it's just, it's like, God, have you people ever met a hard consonant? And you know what's funny? I'll tell you this. There's lots of people from that part of the world that don't have that crazy accent. So I know Molly's goes up and down depending on who she's talking to. I mean, obviously she always has an accent, but sometimes it's really thick. Sometimes not so much. Gee, it's almost like it's audience, the listener based. So as I'm watching the clips, there's a clip of her on Laura's panel. And she gave her $100 super chat. And it occurred to me, and I've thought this before, this isn't the first time I've thought this. Do these a-holes do they all trade the same $100 super chat? Is that all they do? They just trade money. Like, oh, okay, it's your turn. You come on my panel, you give me $100 super chat, and then next week when I get my disability benefits, yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll give you back your $100 super chat, and then you take it over to blah, blah, blah. And round it goes, the never-ending super chat. I mean, am I wrong? I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. I don't give a lot of super chats out, but I do on occasion. If I'm really enjoying somebody's content, I'll throw them a tip. But when you are supposedly friends with somebody, you're collabing, I'm sorry, there's only two sides here. You're either a tragedy pimp or you're not. You're either a good person who is not interested in hurting people who've already been victimized enough, or you want to make money off of those people. Okay, pick a side. There's nobody hanging in the middle. So if you're on the right side, I mean, how many times do I have to tip you $100? Like, I do not get it. It is the weirdest thing to me. They literally just trade money with each other. They use each other to make money, and then they give it back to each other. I don't know about you, but I don't have any friends that I have to pay to be around. I mean, I have friends that I buy them dinner, I give them a birthday present, a Christmas gift, but yeah, I don't like, it's just weird to me. Am I the only one who thinks it's strange that they all just seem to trade money? Oh God, y'all, please, Mike, put the kibosh on that, because I'm telling you, I know that there are certain things that the good old AI is looking for, and I know because I had a little email about it. So let's put the kibosh on that. Well, we know that they share money. Do they also share a brain? How does this work? Do we need like 8 of them to come up with one collective like brain like I have? How's that work? Like, okay, let's see. Is this like the kickball team in school? Like, okay, we want her because she's got a big ass foot and she can kick that ball forever. Okay, we want her because she absolutely has no pride whatsoever. That bitch will do anything. Let's see. We need her because she actually graduated from high school. And on it goes. Like it almost seems like they need a whole bunch of them to collab and make one competent person. Because it seems like they all have their individual hey Earth, how are you? Yeah, Mike, I'm serious. No more of that, okay? Because I'm telling you, I had an email about it, and it could become a problem. So if you want me to not have a problem. Wait, I was reading a comment and not those. Oh God. Oh, it's my sciatic nerve punishing me. Wait a minute. Oh shit, I totally forgot what I was saying. Damn it. I'm almost done now. Yeah, you know what? It goes back to the subs. I always say that. And I think that all the subs of these people, ask yourself this. Do these tragedy pimp channels and these people that you give, well, hi, you said what? Welcome. Ow! Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm having, see, I haven't, usually I can sit at least 2 hours before I get this problem, but oh good God, and sorry, sometimes the only way to make it stop is to stand up. If you're subbed to the tragedy pimps, all, ask yourself this question, because without you, the sub, they don't exist. Okay. Oh, hi, Aunt B. How are you? Well, thank you. I appreciate that. None of us exist without the subs. I mean, that's all there is to it. I say all the time, and it's the absolute truth. This is a hobby. I love doing it. I would give you the exact same show, whether there are 2 people here or if there were 2,000 people here. You're going to get the same from me all the time. I am not monetized, and even when I think I made $25.82 my entire YouTube career. Because believe it or not, I think people looked at me and thought, "Oh, she doesn't need my money." You're right. And that is not to take away from anyone who is monetized. I have no problem with people being monetized. This is a lot of work. But there is something very, there's no one is going to throw in my face, well, you're just doing this for money too. You're just like all the rest of them. Not true. So people who are sub to the tragedy pimps, ask yourself this question. Do they respect you? Do they respect your time? Do they respect your checkbook? Because I can tell you I was a few minutes late. Hi, Truth Arts. How are you? I was a few minutes late getting in here today, and I'm not kidding you. I'm the most punctual person in the world. I'm usually early. Most people who know me in my real life, well, all people who know me in my real life, they know if I'm late, something's happened. It's, I'm not that person. And I was a few minutes late getting in here this morning because I was looking for that lipstick. And I was like, oh my God. Like I was going to be late punching into work. I was getting all nervous. But that's because that's just who I am. I don't, and if I tell you that I'm going to be here at 12 o'clock, well, then I should be here at 12 o'clock or a few minutes after. And do you think that Molly Golightly or Bullhorn Betty or any of them, do you think any of those people give a damn about you? They care about one thing that you can do for them, and that is fund their existence. That's what they care about. And if I'm wrong, I would love someone to tell me. Tuesday, that's why I was late, because I thought, oh shit. Listen, if you could see my bathroom, you'd understand why it took me a minute to find it. I very much enjoy makeup, and I've made it my work to have a miniature Sephora in my bathroom. I have one of those things that spins around that I think each one holds 50 lipsticks, maybe. I don't know, but it's got like you can put your 12 favorite on the top, and then on all four sides, it holds, I think, 20 on each side. I don't know, but it took me a minute to find it. Oh! Relax back. What is that, Charlotte? Oh, because I am sitting on a pillow. This chair is terrible. This chair has absolutely, it's a damn director's chair. It's canvas. And then I started sitting on a pillow on the seat, but that's not helped enough. Relax. What's it called? Relax. The back. I'm writing it down. When I get out of here, I'm going to check. Oh, excuse me. I wrote this down because I've never heard this before, and we might have to have a board meeting. Justin got a parade. He got a parade float. He got a Turtle Island float. I think that was from Peggy. It was on one of the clips. Oh my God, it was hilarious. And I thought, what? Excuse me. I'm cuter than he is. And if he's got a damn float, a parade float, I don't have a parade float, but every once in a while, Savage lets me ride on is the bow in the front? Like that mermaid, the mermaid on the front of the boat. I get to ride on that every once in a while when the seas are calm. I think I need a parade float. Oh, this is just a funny. I heard Molly say this the other day, and I was like, oh, bitch, I'm calling bullshit on that. Much like most of what she says. Did anyone see her? She was talking to another woman, and I don't remember who it was. Somebody that she hates. Well, yeah, I know. I know it's a long list. And she was holding a Tampax. And of course, she made some gross remark about it. And you know what occurred to me? Bitch! When's the last time you saw one? Please. Like, when's the last time you needed one of those? How old is she? Roughly. because I'm thinking the need for one of those exited the building many years ago. I don't know. Oh, revive. Don't you, do you agree with my assessment? I'm pretty sure that, and it's like, I actually think she exists in a place where she would use one of those as a prop for like, I mean, I'm not saying that it's impossible that she could possibly need one, but I don't know. I think I'm calling BS on that. Ooh, am I the only one who thinks nothing says family fun night than more than Coca-Cola Ain and Dillweed Deladod. What? I mean, I think that pretty much says it all. I promise you, I've never had a family party where those have been favors. No, never. And then we have what is the always rampant speculation that these people buy at least a portion of their subs. And I don't know a damn thing about that because I buy shoes. No, I don't buy subs. I buy shoes that come in their own pretty little house. Some, they usually come with their own like comforter and sheet set called a dust bag. I don't know anything about buying subs, but that is definitely the wild speculation that you hear about all of them. And a lot of times people will put up like, is it Social Blade? Is that what it's called? Oh, that's another clip channel. I'm so glad I said that. Social Fade. That's another great clip channel who I've enjoyed very much through this whole saga. So yeah, there's always that. But yeah, ladies, don't buy subs. Buy shoes or buy buildings. I don't know, but don't buy subs. That's cheating and it's gross. Ooh. I don't know if this is true. Well, I heard it right out of his mouth. Unirock. I was listening to him yesterday at the end of the day, and he said he is going to sue MGL and Laura. I don't know what for. I was not there for that. I just happened to have jumped in at the part where I heard that. So if anybody knows what that's about, please enlighten me. And I think that's I'll be anxiously awaiting those details. Justin is always holding hands with MGL. So when she looks bad, it rubs off on him, even when it's not fair or right. You know what, Tuesday? I would agree, but to me, it's absolutely fair because he's another one who I think that was a very calculated collab. Because I'll tell you this, I remember him before he ever spoke her name. He was a mod on another channel, Everyday Shenanigans. And I can tell you that, she was full hot with him because of something he did that in her mind, I think she looked at it as being very deceptive and kind of using her as a, I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't know that much about it. I was there when she went off on him, but I do not remember the details. And it would have been, well, maybe a year ago, something like that. Yes, Liza, he was. And this was when, okay, I can give you this for a benchmark. It was absolutely before. Remember when they all went to Don and Candace's and got them fired from their job, and that asshole Betty stood in front of the house, and that whole deal? Do you remember? Justin was seen on the video when they were standing in front of Don and Candace's driveway. He never said a word, but I remember seeing him and going, what the hell? What's he doing there? Because at the time, he did not have a channel. And the only thing I knew about him was that he was a mod over at Everyday Shenanigans. And he would come on panel all the time. Whatever happened there, she read him for filth publicly. And she told him, I don't appreciate what you did. So I don't know I don't know what it was. I have my thoughts, but it was before that first trip to Don and Candace's, because I remember I was so baffled, like, what the hell's he doing there? Because I don't think anybody had any idea at that time that he was going to have a channel and that he was in bed with Molly, so to speak. He did, Charlotte. I never saw him. Do you know what happened there with him and Angela? I just remember when she made her thoughts very publicly known about him. Charlotte, it was that trip where it's the one where they got them fired from the job. Molly was out in front of the CPS office screaming her ass off. JLR was running around in his tights. That one. I don't know if he drove Molly. I don't know what he did, but that was the only place he was seen on that video. You never saw him anywhere else. And he just stood in the background. And he that was the only place I saw him on camera. I don't know who this LB is. I've heard the name many times, but I don't know what her channel is. I've never seen her. Publicly claimed that he is lying about his military service. Well, he can easily prove that. I don't get it. What, like, here's what I want to know. What the fuck is wrong with all you people who think that because for the pleasure of creating a YouTube channel, you show me where in the terms of service it says that I owe you any of the details of my damn life. We tell you what the hell we want to tell you, as do you. We don't owe you jack shit. You show me in the terms of service where it says, to have a YouTube channel, you're going to have to tell every loser around here where you live, what you do for a job, what your spouse does. Suck it. God almighty, these people are out of control. Liza, I love Uni. I think he is like a very rational, calm voice, much like myself. I appreciate his delivery. Listen, Charlotte, Everyday Shenanigans is her channel. Her name is Angela. Oh, Tuesday, I absolutely agree with that comment. Absolutely. He does it differently. You know what they say. It's the quiet ones you have to watch out for. That's oftentimes the case. yes, I am. You're correct. Yeah, these people need to get a grip. I, it's, it makes me crazy. You know, it's one thing if you're coming up. I mean, what makes you think? I don't ask anybody for jack shit. It's, I might have a little more. No, I'm not even going to say that. Do you know I have actually had people? I had somebody say to me one time, show us the rest of your house. And it was not like said in a, oh, I like your office. I'd love to see what the rest of your house looks like. Yeah, that'll never happen. No, it was said in a like, that wasn't the only thing in the comment, but it was like insinuating that I think what I said before was, yeah, I live in a Tuffy shed in the backyard. This is just like, I just have one room that, looks nice. The rest of it is a shed. But it's like, kiss my ass. What would ever make someone think? Listen, if you have a YouTube channel and you're off showing people your whole house, I mean, I think that's nuts. But that's me, and I'm not going to do it. And I don't owe you that or anybody else that. And nobody owes me that. I mean, there is. Oh, Charlotte, that's a no-fly. That's a no-fly zone here. Listen, there are things that I very purposely stay as far away from as I can, because I ain't looking to go there. And I'm sure you can understand why. There's nothing broken there. I'm not about to fix it. That's pioneer days. Yeah. So yeah, that's I think. Oh, and another thing that I love so much. All of these people. Well, my goodness, they are very busy keeping track of everyone's karma balance. How many times do you hear that? Oh, karma's gonna get you, karma. Yeah, we know. We all know about karma. And yes, I believe the way I put it when I last spoke of this was, she is a fickle mistress, and that bitch does not knock. She kicks your door off the hinges. And I wish that particular brilliant turn of phrase belonged to me, but it does not. That was not mine. I don't know where I saw that, but I can't take credit for it, but I love it nonetheless. And it's very true. But it's like, all these people who are out doing the grimiest shit are always the ones that are like, oh, karma's gonna get you. Listen, everybody in this dump, just, kind of like in school where the teacher tells you, sit crisscross applesauce and be the captain of your own ship. Yeah, be the captain of your own shipwreck, whatever it is. You worry about your karma, I'll worry about mine. Oh, I know. It's always the grimiest, most disgusting ones who do the most foul shit are always the ones who are worrying about people's karma. Give me a break. Oh, you guys, we're going to end this on a funny note. Well, funny to me. I swear, this is the truth. I swear to you. Now, listen, I love candles, okay? In fact, my husband has kind of put me on a candle, like a sabbatical. I'm only supposed to burn them in my office now, because before we had the house repainted, the interior, I would burn candles. Well, if I was conscious, there was a candle burning and in multiple rooms. And number one, I just love good smelly stuff. And, I have animals. I have 3 cats and I have a dog. Trust me, I am also like a neat freak cleaner. So my house does not smell ever. But I'm just that person who I would rather not even, you get like nose blind. I thought, oh God, I'm that person who, well, since this is Krama, one of my things that makes me go, oh, like when you watch those shows like The First 48 or, the OG crime shows or anything on Discovery. Oh God, one of my biggest, cringy, oh God, like I would die, except I'd already be dead, is when I think about, oh God, if I got killed and the cops had to come into my house and shit wasn't where it's supposed to be. I mean, clearly, I got a lot bigger problems if I've got the homicide team in my house, but that's just my thing. It's like, I always try and keep my house neat and orderly because, well, I don't know, somebody kills me and the cops have to come get me. If I have a crime scene, an active crime scene in my house, I don't want them coming in going, oh my God, this bitch is nasty. No. Well, part of that is I don't think my house has ever smelled, but God, I think I'll burn candles whenever I'm conscious just to make sure we don't have a problem with that. Trust me, my mom is that mom that if my house, this is how I know, despite being nose blind, this is how I know my house doesn't smell. Because I have that mother who would walk in and go, oh my God, it stinks in here. You gotta. Yes, that would be my mother. So I know my house doesn't smell. But, okay, so I think the reason I'm on a candle, God, what is the word I'm looking for? Austerity. I'm on candle austerity measures. Because before we had the house repainted on the inside, there was soot on the ceiling where I would really burn. And I've got very high ceilings. These are not 8-foot ceilings. These are, I think they're 20 in the living room. So for soot to get high like that, I mean, and that being said, I still like my candles. So after we painted, my husband's like, honey, can you find something else besides these candles? Well, and the air filters, oh my God, he would have to change them like every 2 weeks. Because I like, really candles that smell really nice have a lot of essential oil in them. Well, it leaves like, well, kind of like if my body was laying out there decomposing, the adipose, what is that called? Adipose. It's like when your fat starts melting like candle wax. God, if they could find a way to make that happen while you're still alive. One time I told Prayer Garden something, she said something about my naughty old legs. It's like, bitch, what the hell's naughty old legs? I'm still trying to figure that out. And I think I told her, heavy is the head that wears the crown. But alas, even I have cellulite. But it's not any place you're going to see it. So I don't know how we went from candles to cellulite, but here we are. So the reason I'm only supposed to burn them in the bedroom is because we don't want the soot and the air conditioning. Yes. Is it adipose? How do you say it? Oh, you can't tell me how to say it. Adipose. Adipose? Adipose? Adipose. Yeah, that. So I like candles, okay? I think the class understands. I over-explain things at times. So I've always heard about the candle lady, okay? I heard about Summer Wells on a candle or some such thing, and she told Donna and Candace she didn't need, I can see why she and Molly are buddies. So I just recently found out Laura is the candle lady. Where does she sell her candles? Are they good? I mean, just because I am annoyed by her voice, listen, if she makes a good candle, I'll try it out. Where do you buy her candles? Adipose. Okay. Yeah, adipose. Okay. Got it. All right. I've learned how to pronounce. See, this was not all for naught, okay? Because I now know how to pronounce the fat in your body that melts like candle wax when you're dead. The more you know. Oh God. So are her candles any good? Oh, 4-wick. Listen, I have a lot of candle rules, okay? I have found that candles in glass, to me, burn nicer and put out more scent than candles in tins. I love a 3-wick. And you're going to be surprised because I like a lot of bougie candles, but I also have a favorite that's way up there that is not a bougie candle. So yes, I am. I will pass that on. I'm going to go in and tell my husband about it. Okay, so when I found out that she's the candle lady, I thought, well, my God, I need to find out about her candles because I love a good candle. So I thought, well, since she is clearly a candle professional, okay, they're called ENERGIE, ENERGIE Candle Company. I'm going to go look. But I thought, I'm going to show you guys some of my favorite candles. And if she's a candle aficionado, then she'll know about these. And believe it or not, I keep them in my office. So I happen to have a few sitting here. Okay, first for one of my very favorite bougie candles. Very expensive, very bougie, but I will tell you, I need to walk back what I just said about the tin, because this one, it's 1 wick and it's in a tin and it's gorgeous. It's got a domed lid. Oh God, I am. That's disgusting. This is not disgusting. This is called Les Jardins de Fragonard. Pistache cedre. Pistache cedre. Cedar pistachio, I guess. This is a very bougie French candle that my mother brought me back from. I hope, Mom, if you're listening, I apologize. She's not listening. My mom is famous for her airport duty-free gifts. I know she did. Well, I don't think she got them. No, she told me that she went to the factory. She took a tour of this factory. So I know this wasn't, but I have lots of gifts around the house that are definitely from the duty-free. But that's okay because she's got good taste and she's not cheap. But we'll just say she sometimes waits until she gets to the airport to buy the airport gift. So yes, this smells magnificent. It's 1 wick, comes in a tin. And imagine my surprise. Amazon does carry this. I don't know that they carry this scent. These are $68. Crazy expensive. But that being said, they smell fantastic. Another brand I love Fornacetti. See those? This had a candle in it. I'm not going to tell you what it costs because it would be very tacky. It's not cheap. Put it this way. It is so not cheap that when said candle was burned, I dug all the wax out, used copious amounts of Dawn dish soap to get the residue wax out, and now use that as a container for pens and whatnot. So Fornacetti, and actually everybody does that with Fornacetti, unless you're, don't care, in which case I guess you throw them out. I would never throw them out. This is another Fornacetti. I don't know what scent this is. It's got a little boo-boo on the lid, but I've never burned it, but I'm sure it'll be lovely. Sierra Tredone, which I don't have one of those in front of me. Those are actually the oldest. If I'm not mistaken, Sierra Tredone is the oldest candle company in existence, and they actually made candles for the Sun King, Louis the 14th, I think he was. Can Laura say that? I want to know what her candles smell like. I might actually buy one. And here is one of my non-bougie candles. That actually, this is one of my favorites. This is one of my, believe it or not, Bath and Body Works. This is one of the Tutti Frutti. Now, if you are a fan of Bath and Body Works candles, you know that they only have about, maybe 20, 25 cents, maybe 30. They rotate them throughout the year. They just change the names. But I will tell you this. Oh, another candle I love, and I like their cosmetic products too. Their perfumes and their lotions. Jo Malone. Their candles don't put out enough scent to make them worth the price. But I will say, of all these candles, besides this French one, this Frenard, what the hell did I say this was called? Les Jardins de Fragonard. Besides this one, the most scent is Bath and Body Works, believe it or not. And I swear to you, I have tried candles from every damn price point across the board. From this, which is what, 20 bucks when it's not on sale, all the way to this, which I'm not even going to say, and Sierra Tredone. Sierra Tredone, holy shit. A standard small candle size, like, not a pillar, but in a glass container, but it's only about that high. The cheapest candle they make is 150 bucks. And a small powder room bathroom might be small enough for those to put out enough scent. Just stupid money. This, honestly, for the money, you cannot beat a Bath and Body Works candle. I'm sorry. And I know because I've tried them all. Besides Laura's. I have not tried Laura's yet, but I think I'm going to. Does anybody know how much they are? What is Crossroads? How do I not know about this company? Crossroads. Okay, I'm writing that down too. Damn it. Hold on. Crossroads. Is there a particular scent that you like the best? How have I never heard of these? Oh, Tuesday. Absolutely. That's all they do. Bath and Body has, I would say, in their entire scent catalog. Do you know when I stopped buying Bath and Body? Do you remember the good old days when they would send you the coupon? You'd get $10 off of what, 30 or 40? This is no exaggeration. I would go to my local Bath and Body. They knew me in there. I would take my son with me because I needed manpower. They would give me 2 to 3 of those mesh baskets or bags. I'd fill them all up. we'd pull them to the register. They would get, I knew which, I'd go to the back of the store in the mall. I knew they'd tell me what number their door was, and they would wheel them out to me on a cart because I couldn't get them through the damn mall back to the car. But as soon as they stopped letting you use those coupons like that, I won't buy them anymore. And I will say another fantastic candle that is inexpensive and puts out a surprising amount of scent, Sand and Fog from, I always get them at Home Goods or, Marshall's, TJ Maxx. They all have them. I like Sand and Fog is a really nice candle too. So, all right, I'm looking. Wonder they're saying no. What? But yes, Bath and Body, they truly have only, I want to say they might have 30 different scents, and they just rotate them all through the year. Like this one, Tutti Frutti, that says Happy Easter on it. Over the holidays, this was called Champagne Toast, I believe. The more you know. Charlotte, do you want to hear something funny about Bath and Body and the products? Oh yes, SoFlo Mama, I love Nest. The bamboo, is it bamboo jasmine? I'm actually wearing that lotion. That's funny you put that this morning. Nest makes perfumes now too. Yes, Nest makes a good candle, and they're not insane. They're not cheap, but they're. Oh, and Voluspa. I love Voluspa too. And what was I saying before that? Before I got distracted. Oh shit, I don't remember. I don't remember. God, getting old. It's a bitch. All right, you guys, my sciatic nerve is no longer cooperating. And I'm hungry. Oh, I ordered a case of, not a case. They don't come case. They come in like a big plastic square bucket. Can you have a square bucket? You know what I'm talking about. I love candy. So I found these lollipops. It's hard to find. I love cinnamon. But it's really hard to find a cinnamon lollipop. Now, I know Hobby Lobby has the square ones. I'm not a fan of those square. I like the taste, but I don't like a square pop. So I found these things on Amazon yesterday. I'm hoping they're out at the front door. They are cinnamon teddy bears. And they're about that big. I'm so excited. And I think I got grape too. And I've never seen them before. So yes, I am. I've done the wax melts. Listen, there is not a damn scent device I have not tried. The latest thing, I've kind of gotten away from buying them, but I used them for quite a while, is Pura. And it's a round, you plug it in, it's round, and you buy these pods. And you control it all with an app. And and they make, Nest makes, I think, 6 different scents for the Pura pods. So okay, now I remember Tuesday I just saw your comment about the essential oils. Okay, so you know the things that you put in your car, they're a round disc, and you pull off the little plastic, and then you put them in the little holder. Like, they come in all different, like one's a purse, that's the one I have, and you clip it on your rearview mirror, and then it makes your car smell nice. And all it is it's oil inside of a little circular, like a pod. Well, I'm in Florida, and one day I got in the car, and it was in the middle of summer, and it was probably 95 degrees out, and I'm sitting there in traffic, and I had my hand on the wheel, one on the gear shift, and all of a sudden I feel this stuff dripping on me, and I'm like, what the hell? It was so hot in Florida that the oil that was in that round disc melted. The plastic that holds the oil inside the disc melted. It was so damn hot. So now I don't use them anymore because I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I don't need that. I don't need that issue again. Well, I've been droning on for almost 2.5 hours, and my sciatic nerve is screaming, and I need to go see if my damn teddy bear lollipops are out there. And I am going to look at Laura's candle because I'm curious. I always hear about them, so I'm going to look. Oh, all right, kids. What's today? Saturday. Tomorrow I'm busy, but I'll be here probably Monday. We'll do, well, depending on if any new, if we have some new action that takes place between now and Monday morning, which, I'm sure it will. This place rarely disappoints in that department. So I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I will see you during the week. Oh, Tuesday. I'll have to give it I'll have to give it a trial run first on my own. Oh God, can you imagine? I can see how that could go very left. I could see where, I don't know, I get the impression she's probably not open to criticism. I don't know. I'm going to see what they cost, and I want to see what cents they are, and I'll report back. All right, everybody, have a great weekend, and thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you during the week. Bye.